the what? In this video, I'm gonna share 10 things that shock Texans about California. California may have the Pacific Coast Highway, Hollywood, beautiful scenery and beaches and weather, but it can't hold a candle to the great state of Texas in regards to personal freedom and economic opportunity. In this video, I'm going to highlight 10 things that shock Texans about the state of California. Hello, my name is Dana Pollard and I've lived in Texas since I was 4 years old, and I've been a real estate agent for over 12 years now, and our team helps you to narrow down where to live in this vast state of Texas. My California clients, they tell me that they can't get here fast enough because of the high regulations, high taxes, and maybe some craziness. Number one, the COVID regulations. We have COVID here in Texas too, and we do wear masks. In fact, businesses require masks when you're out and about. But in California, citizens, they are shut in with dozens of rules, and it's quite shocking to us Texans. Let's take, for instance, Thanksgiving. The holiday regulations were shocking, not just to me, but I would say to most Texans. To be outside for no more than 2 hours with no more than 3 households. I mean, or homeowners have a long table because attendees must sit 6 feet apart. I mean, you know, and conversations must be at or below the volume of normal speaking voice. I really hope Uncle Jack doesn't tell a funny joke. In planning on live music, well, wind instruments like the trumpet or clarinet are strongly discouraged. That's pretty shocking. Here in Texas, well-known protocols are suggested, but nowhere near the dictates of California, and common sense prevails. Number two thing that kind of shocked us Texans is when there was a ban of no singing in churches. Oh guys, no singing in churches! Speaking of music, this past July, the California governor actually banned singing in churches as a means to cut down on the spread of the virus. And religious leaders have called that an unprecedented attack on the freedom of worship. Some even sued, but an appeals court upheld the ban. Our church doors are open in Texas and we are free to sing and give praise. Number three, kooky protests. When I first heard of some of these protests, I was like, what the what? Free enterprise is a part of the American story, but not if you want to open a business that some deem offensive. What's for dinner in Texas? Many would say beef, but that can be a dangerous proposition in California, where a Berkeley butcher shop was forced by protesters to hang a sign that says animals have a right to live. Activists would sing, shout, and lecture customers. They even wrapped themselves in plastic with fake blood to frighten people walking by. Now that is shocking to us. Cows are a common sight in Texas. In fact, Texas has more cows than 43 states have people. Barbecue is king here, but there is also room for vegans. You may find a top-notch barbecue joint right next to a vegan or vegetarian restaurant, and listen, it's all good. The point is, we have the freedom to choose without being hounded. Number four, religious intolerance. Now listen, in Texas, I know it's the Bible Belt and there's a reputation for many Christians being here, and there are, but we're talking about religious intolerance just in general, because there are many religious beliefs here, not just Christian beliefs, but just the intolerance in general. Many establishments are closed on Sunday in Texas to allow time for family to be together and for church, and that is the company's right to do so. talking about being closed on Sunday, Chick-fil-A is one that is closed on Sunday, and it was founded by a Christian owner. I've heard that it can be quite an uphill climb to open up one in California, where activists have protested the owner's religious values. But here in Texas, it doesn't mean you have to be a Christian. It just says we believe that citizens are entitled to their own personal beliefs, and it shouldn't affect shopping habits. You know, it is pretty hard to beat a chicken sandwich and waffle fries. Chick-fil-A sales were estimated to be $11.3 billion last year, and it has been named as America's top restaurant brand for several years. At last count, Texas has more than 436 locations. It'd be shocking if someone protested Chick-fil-A here. Number 5, worship time. God is a big deal to most people here in Texas. And I mean, it could be, if you call it the universe, you could say God, whatever religious belief you are, it's a big deal in Texas, and you don't have to feel so ostracized if you say God. Sundays are special here. It's a day to slow down, spend time with family, attend church. Texas ranks 11th in the percentage of adults who are highly religious. California, on the other hand, is number 35. In fact, 1/5 of the state's residents claim no religion. The Lone Star State is home to about 27,000 worship centers. Number 6, rolling blackout fears. And we will leave the lights on for you in Texas. No rolling blackouts here. I don't know if you knew this, but we have our own energy grid called ERCOT. And it was created during World War II to keep up with factories making equipment for the war. Our electric bills are cheaper here too. According to electricchoice.com, Texans on average pay 11.36 cents per kilowatt hour. California customers pay 19.90 cents per kilowatt hour. Incredibly, 10% of all electricity customers in the US are in California. To make matters worse, while also battling COVID, Californians have dealt with power shutoffs in the heat of the summer into the fall. In fact, I've had clients, you guys have been telling me all kinds of stories about this. And all new homes this year in California must have solar panels, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but what it is it's required, which adds $8,400 to the price tag of a new build. That's on average anyways. But now don't get me wrong, we have solar panels here in Texas, and I think they're great. It's a great choice, but again, it's a choice. Number 7, commute nightmares. I've heard all kinds of stories of long commutes in California. Let's talk about commute time. Freeways around LA during rush hour are clogged with commuters. Los Angeles has the top 2 worst traffic corridors in the nation and is ranked as the 6th most congested city in the US. On the 10 freeway between the 405 and the 110, drivers encountered delays of 19 minutes per day. On the 101, drivers hit daily delays of 13 minutes between Hollywood and downtown LA. And that is in addition to normal commute times. So let's just say you wanted to go to the grocery store. Drivers on the 405 and the 110 encounter delays of, on average, of 19 minutes per day. You can't just jump on the freeway and go to the grocery store. Now, maybe you know some back roads, and hopefully you do. I have heard, and you're gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong, that some California cities are even considering a congestion tax. Are you kidding me? That means if you're on a sanctioned roadway during rush hour, you will be charged. Beginning tolls would be around $4. Now that is shocking. So if you got it coming and leaving work, that would be $8 a day, and I'd say that can add up monthly. Here in Texas, we do have tollways that charge, but again, it's a choice. Do you see a common theme? These roadways are usually parallel to interstates and state highways. And again, it's a choice. Number 8, the state of public schools. We have great public schools here in Texas, and they are currently open for students. In most cases, families have a choice to go face-to-face or attend remotely. They leave it up to the parents to choose. Our schools have great teachers, up-to-date campuses, and top-notch extracurricular choices. And we take our football and musical theater pretty serious, and we are vigilant about student academic success. According to U.S. News and World Report, more than 260 high schools in Texas reported a graduation rate of 100%, the most of any state. Statewide, that number is 93%. California's graduation rate is only 85%. And with a dwindling tax base due to companies and people leaving, those schools may have even less money to work with. Number 9, the homeless mess. Do a search on the web for homeless in California, and you could wallpaper a house with all the images you would find. Housing is so expensive that many simply can't afford even a small apartment. One missed paycheck or an emergency, and some residents find themselves without a roof over their head. 27% of people living on the streets are in California. The homeless population in California has increased 22% over the last decade to 150,000. It seems like there's nowhere for them to go but along the sidewalks and busy highways. In Texas, we do have homeless as well, but at last count, the Lone Star State has 25,000 as compared to the 150,000 of California. And number 10, the California sky-high housing prices. Finally, why I'm in the business of real estate, to help people find the perfect home. Texas housing costs are simply way more affordable than California, so let's compare. So here's a home in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for about $300,000. And here's a $300,000 home in the LA area, and oh yeah, there's very few at that price. How about a $500,000 home in both regions? Where would you like to live? So Dana, tell me the next step. Well, hey, let's meet on Zoom. Whether you are a year out or even need to move this month, the next step is to fill out the Dream Home Questionnaire in the link below. In the Dream Home Questionnaire, you will paint a picture for me of what you want in a dream home and in a community. And after you share your favorite snack, you will click the submit button and an email will be sent to you with a link to book a consultation call with me via Zoom. We will get to meet online and you can ask me anything you want about Texas. Then we will narrow down some great areas for you, and when you're ready, I have a team to help you find the perfect home for your family. So go ahead, don't be shy. The link is below in the description. And while you're at it, follow me on Instagram and you can get to know me a little more in a more personal way. I look forward to meeting you.